Welcome to Men Hurt Too, a safe space where men get to share their truth from their expertise, from their education, from their experience, and most of all, just from their point of view. We have a special guest with us tonight. I'm always so excited for Mondays because it is Man Convo Monday. We have Lionel Hilaire, is a husband, father of three girls and one son, author of How to Rescue Yourself from Rescuing Others, speaker and the treasurer of Divine Potential Services, Inc., which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to restore families and empower change since 2016. His ultimate purpose in life is to see lives properly positioned to prosper on purpose through marketing, consulting, and coaching. Lionel believes wholeheartedly that self-discovery and cultivation is key to be fulfilled. To be a fulfilled, effective, and purposeful life. Lionel enjoys basketball, bike riding, telling jokes, and cooking with his family. So welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So we're going to tell a little bit of the backstory. Like me and Lionel, right? We have recorded this because, usually Men Hurt Too is in the morning. So it was hard for me not to say good morning. But somehow, either I didn't press record or I deleted it by mistake, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So I'm so excited to be here tonight. The first question that I always ask my guests is, tell me a little bit about your blueprint, tell me about your mother, and tell me about your father.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. Like with mom, it's like most men that I've seen don't really have anything negative to say about mom. But when it comes to dad, we have like a grocery list. But with my mom, it was really good. It was well. There's nothing, I could say that like I can remember that was just a bad memory. But for my father, I like to tell people, my father, he was in the home. I was brought up with both parents. But my father, he was in the home, but he was not of the home.
Oh.
And he did what society said to do. My dad protect, he provided, but I like to say he missed out on the third P. And they said protect, so my dad was there. So there was a man presence. Provide. My dad, all our bills were paid. We had no worries. But he missed out on the third P. And the third P, what I've come to realize, because I said, there's ways I did not want to be like my dad, and there's a few ways I wanted to be like my father. But I found later in life, I did protect, I did provide, but in a way, I was missing the third P sometimes. And the third P is present. And so he protected, he provided, but he wasn't present.
Wow.
And I believe that's very important to any person coming up as a relationship with their father, being present.
And I want to make a point here that you just made. So many people think that because two parents are in the house, that a child is being provided all the way around. Not that your dad was a bad dad or anything like that, but just because the parent is in the house doesn't mean that they're present there emotionally. They're there physically, right. They're there financially, but they're not there emotionally connecting with you. So I know you have children. So you have three girls and one boy. Yes. So tell me how the way your parents parented affected your parenting skills.
Shoot, I was lost. I was a teenage dad, so I was 19. And for many years, my wife was my mom.
Wow.
And because she would basically do everything. She would schedule everything. She would tell me what to wear because I was lost. I was brain fogged, from injuries, head injuries, playing football, getting into fights and hitting my, getting into, bad fights. And when I became a father, from age 19 to about age 30, I didn't know I was walking around waiting for my father to affirm me and say, Lionel, you are a man now. I'm proud of you. Now go take care of your family. You can do it. And from about age 19 to age 30, I'm just, trying my best. So I say, you know what? Let me do what society said to do. Take care of your family. Just take care of your family and everything is going to be okay. I took care of my family, but I didn't take care of me.
Oh, wait, hold on, brothers. That's for the brothers. There's a nugget for the brothers right there. He said he took care of his family, but he did not take care of himself. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Yes, no problem. I mean, because in life, what I've come to realize at age 39 is that there's a proper balance we ought to have in life. You know how some people say, I'll give the shirt off my back. Well, I've learned not to give the shirt off your back. Go get another shirt. And so what I was doing was I was helping people. I was helping people be happy, not just my family. I was helping people feel happy, whole, feel welcome, wanted, and important at my expense.
Oh, that's some good stuff. I just want all the men to listen. And the title of this podcast is Men Hurt Too, because I need the world to understand that men are human beings first. Men have needs, men have wants, men cry, men feel pain, men feel loss. So you said something really interesting. You said your wife was your mother. So I know a little bit about your story of codependency. So
Yes.
I just want you to just get in a little bit about that, of how you actually found out you were codependent on your wife.
Okay, so I know I didn't know this for many years. My wife, we were both teenage parents, and I thought I was in love. I was always on my wife. I was always like, come here, honey, let's hug, let's cuddle. And, like I was constantly like on fire. Like I was always wanting to like have sex and one day my wife said, Lionel, I'm going on vacation. Now this was 11 years after we were married. She said, I'm going on vacation. I need you to take care of the kids. And I said, no problem. I got this. I'm the man over here. I got it. Okay, you can go. And so she went far away to St. Louis, Missouri at a Joyce Meyer's conference. And the next day I felt broken. The next day I felt like I lost a sense of control. I felt like I became powerless. And I was walking to the bathroom, and then a tear started coming down my face. And I look in the mirror, I said, what's wrong with you? I'm okay. And I believe I heard, like God telling me, like, go look up the symptoms of codependency. So I said, not me. So I Googled and I looked up, there were 10 symptoms, and I fit 7.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm in trouble.
Wow.
Because I didn't know that all what I was doing was being all over my wife and, depending on her for every little thing. And when she got angry at me, I got angry at me.
Wow.
I went and I looked in the mirror and I said, something is wrong with you. When she was happy with me, I was happy with me.
Wow.
And so I didn't know that I was struggling with codependency until she took that trip. Because, for all those years, I thought I was in love with my wife, but I was in lust with my wife.
Wow. Uh-oh, brothers and sisters, wives and girlfriends, hold on to your hats right now.
Yes. And I used to think lust was a good thing. But until I found out that lust can take you places you never intended to go and keep you longer than you intended to stay.
Ooh.
And so because when my wife became ill, I was still in need. And so she felt sick and she couldn't give me anything. It's not like I'm going to say, honey, I know you're in pain, but a brother needs something. So I didn't do that. I was broken. It was like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it was like I was a crackhead looking for a hit.
Wow.
And later I found out that I was using sex to self-medicate. And so it brought me on this journey. And where's that book? And that's where I wrote my first book, How to Rescue Yourself from Rescuing Others, 7 Steps to Getting Healthy, Happy, and Healed. And so I wrote that because after I found out I had codependency, I went on this journey, and I realized that many couples, especially in the Black community, they look good, but they're struggling with codependency. And a lot of them are not in love, they're in lust. There's a difference.
Wow. So a little bit about where this came from, where this codependency came from. I just want to go back a little bit to what we talked about, your childhood of being bullied.
Yes.
And, early on in your childhood. Do you think that you could tell them a little bit about how you were bullied and why you were bullied? But do you think that had some kind of effect that made you codependent and, probably with other people as well?
Yeah, think about it. When you have a traumatic experience, you tell yourself, I do not ever want to experience that again. So you deposit those words in your subconscious mind. And what your subconscious mind is going to do is going to say, at all costs, we're going to avoid this traumatic experience from happening again. So what you do is you operate in a way you think is helping you, but it's really hurting you. So because the brain is doing its job, it's just you gave the information in a bad way or in the wrong way. So you're still broken because you gave it to yourself in a broken state. They said, don't make a permanent decision off temporary emotions. A lot of us do that. So growing up for me, my parents, my mom and my dad are from Haiti. And my dad, all he knew was to make sure there's something in the refrigerator. Because that's how they grew up in Haiti, grind, struggle, and my dad was one of those people that I consider now heroes from Haiti, where he would help the Haitians escape Haiti.
Wow.
And my dad, because, Haiti was really rough, and my dad got caught helping people escape Haiti. And he got locked up and beaten almost to death for like 14 days, he told me. And when my dad got released from jail, my dad and my mom escaped Haiti themselves. And they took a boat ride. And I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how long did it take for you to get here on that boat people used to call the banana boat? He said a week.
Woo.
I was like, oh my gosh. Instantly, I forgave my dad.
Wow.
I forgave him instantly because he did the best he knew how. Although it wasn't right for me, he did his best. And all he could do for me was pass the baton, because he came in 79. I was born in 82.
Oh, wow.
So if his purpose was to just bring me here, he done a great job.
Oh my goodness.
And
go ahead, talk a little bit about being bullied in school.
So when one day it was a time when we was going back to school, and my mom went to my dad and said, hey, I need some money because these kids got to go back to school. There's 4 of us at the time, because my dad had 9 other children that was in Haiti at the time. And he eventually brought them all over. And there were 9 sisters, by the way.
Wow.
So my dad handed my mom $100. And my mom looked at it. We looked at it. We all looked at it. We like, boy, it's gonna be rough. And we fussed at him, but he thought that was enough. So my mom, like many other Haitians, she had no other choice but to go to the swap shop. And so she bought us clothes. She made it work. I don't know how. I don't know what she did. It was like the 2 fish and the 5 loaves. I don't know what she did. So I went to school and I'm loving my outfit now. Brand new. This is the first time I don't have hand-me-downs. I'm in the 6th grade. I'm loving it, because elementary wasn't the best. So, I'm saying like, okay, now here's a fresh start. Here's a fresh start in life. And I'm the man. I look good. My clothes is creased. It looks nice. But then I'm walking, and then all I feel is bam on the back of my head. And I turn around, and it's like 30 boys. And they was teasing me, calling me Haitian, this and that. You look Haitian. And from then on, they made every Friday Haitian Day. And
wow.
they would look for people who look like Haitians and beat them up. And so that's where, and I said to myself, I never want to experience that again. I never want people, because, if I had a little disagreement with the American kids, because I'm Haitian American and they were American. There's a difference. Some people think all Black folk the same. I have friends from out of state to say, what's a Haitian? So people didn't know what a Haitian was. But we're not the same, as far as our background. And so if we were to get one of those American kids mad, like they come after us, they bring a whole bunch of them. And I wasn't really scared, but I had to run because all my other friends were scared.
Right.
So I said, I never want to experience that again. So I began to make people around me happy at my expense. I would joke and crack jokes on myself so people can laugh, so they can enjoy my company.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And you know what? That's a great point you just brought up. I see a lot of women do that. I never thought about men doing it, but I see like a lot of women, if it's a big girl, she'll bring attention to the bigness. Or if it's a girl, if it's, her smile she don't like, or if it's her eyes she don't like, she'll bring attention to that and joke on it herself. Yes. So how did you get out of the phase of being basically a people pleaser because you didn't want to upset anybody to bring them to a point of, having to have confrontation with you? How did you turn that around for yourself?
Well, first I went into depression because when I found out that I was a people pleaser, that I was codependent, I did a quick flashback over my life and I saw that all those years were a lie. Those people didn't really like me. Oh. Those people wanted me for what I had, not for who I was.
Oh my goodness.
And so I became very frustrated, very angry. I began to hate people. And I didn't even speak for that short period of time. I think it was about maybe 1 to 2 months. I didn't really speak to my wife, speak to my children, because I started not liking them.
Wow.
Because I was like, y'all want me for what I can do, not because you love me.
Oh.
And so here I am repeating this broken cycle again.
Right.
But then, so I said, okay, let's go on another journey. Now, this was after before I wrote my book. And so I launched myself on a journey of healing. And I began to read books after books and have conversations, talk to people. And it really it helped me tremendously, because now I have something to share with people.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. There was a time in your life when you lost everything, when it was bad, when you lost everything. And what does it do to a man? Because this is all about men hurt too, and the process of the things that you guys go through as Black men. And I just need people to understand that there's depression, there's anxiety, there's codependency. There are things that you guys go through. What does it do to a man when he can't provide? I remember you said you couldn't provide buying something for your daughter for 50 cents. Like, what does that do to you as a man?
Yeah, there was one time we were in the grocery store and my young daughter, I think she was 3 at the time, and she was like, Daddy, give me this. And I looked down, it was one of those little small boxes of fish crackers. And I looked at the price and it was 60 cents. And I looked in my wallet. I thought about my change tray. There was nothing in it. And after that moment, I cried like a baby. I went home and cried like a baby because I couldn't even afford fish crackers for my daughter. And that was one of the lowest points of my life. And I realized that that I need to change. Something has to change. You know what I mean?
Right.
And from then on, I made sure that I didn't make bad financial decisions, even though I made some, but they were not like I did before. So and it feels bad as a man. It feels like you're worthless. Like you don't have meaning. There's no purpose. There's another man might as well take your place because you show you can't do it, and your wife may deserve somebody else. You're not. You're not the one, bro. And so it's kind of like how I felt, and I used to feel like crawling under a rug every time because it went on for a while. I was working part-time for 2 years.
Wow.
And mind you, it was 5 of us then. Now we have my son, he's 9. And that was the worst. I don't wish that on anybody.
How did you and your wife coexist at that time? Because I know she's thinking one thing, you thinking one thing. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. How did you guys coexist at that time when, listen, I mean, I talk to a lot of women, and if a man can't provide, the one thing that we thrive on is security. Like,
Yeah.
we need to know we're secure. How did you guys even get through that season in your life?
My wife is an awesome person.
Oh.
And a lot of things she said and she did which wasn't that often, but sometimes when women throw some jabs, they can be some stuff. They can hurt really bad. It's like, I wish I never told you. But she was broken too. So so we made it work. Like my wife, she was, and it's not always a good thing, but she was strong. I don't, the word strong is not always something like I receive as positive. But she was mentally strong, but she had to do it, so she had to carry us, but later it really broke her down too.
Wow.
Because she was carrying a family, and I don't think women are designed to carry a whole family. I think we're supposed to help one another, but the man, there's a call on the man that he's supposed to carry a certain that not the whole burden, but a good amount of the weight, because we're built that way. We make it look easy.
Right. I hope the women heard that. Listen, some of the stuff we ain't supposed to be carrying, ladies, because there's a lot of us out here now that are saying, I don't need a man because we've been, hurt. We went through some situations, and a lot of couples don't overcome financial situations. That's why I wanted to highlight that. Like, it doesn't have to end because you financially go somewhere. It's a season. And marriage is a commitment, for good, through the good and the bad, through sickness and in health. And we need to bring that back to the village. And I just want people to see people like you and your wife. Like, I don't want them to think that, oh, Lionel is here and he ain't never had nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They had nothing. You can buy goldfish, 60-cent gold. I mean, I bet we all, we've been there, but for a man to not be able to look in that change tray and get 60 cents for the little box of goldfish, that's a lot of depression and pressure to go home and tell your wife, I don't have the money for the light bill. Like, I don't know what's going on. So you was gonna say something?
No, I was saying,
okay.
You're right. Like, so, that's true.
What do Black men need, not only from Black women, but what do Black men need in general from your vantage point, from your perspective?
That's a great question. One day I was on an interview, I think it was a panel a few months ago, and they said, hey, what do Black men need from society? I said, I don't want nothing from society. I said, because society is not designed for me to prosper, for a Black man to prosper. Okay. I said, Black men don't need the society to help them. Black men need community. There's a difference. So
Wow.
we need to create our own community and build our community around us. So we, as a Black community, we need to create community around one another. Like Black men, if they don't have community, they are a very dangerous people to be around.
Wow.
They don't have a healthy community.
Right. Keyword. They don't have healthy community. So to the brothers who are listening, we need to really, y'all need to, I can't say we because I'm not a man, but I do support Black men who in communities. Y'all have to come together, Lionel said. Y'all have to create healthy communities where you can see healthy men all around you. Because you know, you are who you hang around. You are like the top 5 people that you hang around. So be careful. So I know you have 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 son. What is the one thing that you just want the world to know about Black fathers? Because y'all get such a bad rap. Like, I mean, for real, for real. And I love the way you share your family. You have a beautiful family.
Yes,
oh my goodness. You. I love them. I was looking, I had to stalk you in order to do the interview, not in a crazy way, but I just see. But they're beautiful. What is the one thing you want the world to know about Black fathers?
Black fathers, we hurt too, and we need love too. And a lot of times we act tough, we act hard, but it's really trauma because we have to protect ourselves. And I used to sag my pants when I was a kid. It's not because I wanted to sag my pants. It's so a thug in the streets don't approach me the wrong way, thinking I'm a nerd. So I sag my pants to say, hey, bro, I'm hard too. You know, and so when we grow up as men and, we try to protect ourselves with muscles and with aggression, with a straight face, and that's how, but we really need love. We need affirmation. We want to feel needed. And I think that's why a man, which is no excuse, but a man can cheat on his wife and sleep with the ugliest woman because his wife don't make him feel needed, but another woman, she makes him feel needed. So men are designed to feel needed. They're designed to feel wanted. That's why I believe we have this chaos in relationships, because if a woman, she's making 6 figures and he's making whatever, she feels like, I don't need you, but he wants to be needed. Oh. That's his desire. And so we want to be needed. Yes. We want to be needed. Yes.
Ladies, I hope you heard that. And like Lionel said, there is no excuse for cheating. There is no reason. We're not excusing poor behavior, but the brother just dropped the nugget. He said, you ever see a man who slept with an ugly woman? We don't want to call people ugly, but Lionel's a comedian. And you trying to figure out why? Because she's making him feel needed, making him feel wanted. And men have needs too. So we have to be mindful of that, ladies. I just want everybody to understand the dynamic of what men need, not just, and I want the women too in relationships to hear what you're saying, that these are the things that leave a crack in the door for another woman at work.
Yeah. And a man
going to work. Go ahead.
But at the same time too, I just said that, but a man needs to articulate himself as well. So he has to be healthy enough to be able to say, hey, look, I know you are doing fine. You got what you have, what you need, but that's not what this relationship is based on. It's based, I want to feel like you want me. You not just need me, but you want me too. Oh. You understand? So if a man can't articulate that, then something's not right within him. So that's why if you're with a man and he just sits on the couch, he goes to work, he pays the bills, he makes sure everything is right in the house, he's protecting, he's providing, but he's not present for himself. A man does not need to be present. Oh my gosh. A man does not need to be present for his family. He needs to be present for himself. So if you don't help a man be present for himself, you are behaving selfishly.
Wow. Somebody about to take us to church right now. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Let's get to cultivate your calling now. I know you got a new book out, and it's so ironic because the last time we spoke, and I don't know what I did with the recording, the book wasn't out yet. So the book, you got your delivery. I see it behind you. I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
excited. Look at that, y'all. Order your books now. Order your books. The books is there. You'll get a signed copy. But I want you to tell us a little bit why it was so important for you to write this book.
After I wrote How to Rescue Yourself from Rescuing Others, I was like, okay, I'll write a book whenever, like. And then one day on March 29th of 2020, so March 29th of last year, my oldest daughter, Kyla, she came bursting in my room. And she's like, Dad, I got to run to the hospital. And she's rubbing her eyes. And I'm like, okay, did she eat some scallops again that broke her out and made her lips like swell? And she's like, no, Tyrell's got shot. And Tyrell was a boyfriend of 2 years, was shot. And I said, hey, let me take you to the hospital. We were like, my wife and I, we jumped out because we were in the bed. We jumped up. And she's like, no, I'll drive. So me and my wife was like, all right, we're going to stay back. We're going to pray. So we prayed, and me and my wife's like, he's going to be okay. And this was around 11:30 at night. And then at 2:30 in the morning, my daughter called my wife's phone, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I ain't picking up that phone.
Yes.
And my wife answered on speaker, and my daughter says that Tyrell has passed. And
wow.
quickly, I realized that, of course, it was a terrible thing. And we were broken by it. My daughter was broken by it. But I realized that if Black men don't do three things, Black women, men, and children are in trouble. So if Black men don't restore within themselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, if they do not restore within their relationships, and if they do not restore within their careers, then the Black community is in trouble. And so I wrote the book, Cultivate Your Calling, and dedicated it to Tyrell Thrower. And
wow.
And this is the image of Tyrell Thrower. He would have been 22 years old last year. And Tyrell has a twin sister, Shirell. So this was something that I decided to take on because I wasn't really going to write another book. I said I was going to, but this accelerated the process. And watching my daughter almost nearly faint after they're lowering his casket, I told her and I hugged her and I said, they will never forget who this guy is, who Tyrell Thrower is. And so I wrote this book in less than 40 days because what I did was I looked back at my life and see what I needed and see what I was missing. And that's how I was able to write Cultivate Your Calling.
That is so awesome. Oh my goodness. How does it feel to have to watch your daughter go through that as a father?
I felt like I was arrested.
Oh.
And I felt like I had shackles and cuffs and I couldn't help her. And
wow.
And the key to those shackles and the cuffs was for me to write this book to help other men so I don't get shackled and cuffed again. And so I said, I want to make sure even when the guys that come in their lives and my daughter's lives, that I mentor them, that they have a copy of my book, that because this book helps them teach them how to build community around themselves. And it's really a letter that I wrote to my old self. It's like a letter I wrote to my old self or my broken self. So they can know, they can resonate with them really well.
Wow. What is 3 tips you'd like to give young men who are listening right now to the Ty? His name was Tyrell. What is 3 tips you'd like to give to the Tyrells of the world?
Oh my gosh. 3 things I would say is to work on yourself. That's number one. To before you get into a relationship, before you even apply for a job or apply for promotion or start a business, or before you apply to go to school, work on you first. So start cultivating yourself. That's the
Right.
key, because you can start a family, you can start a career, but if you don't cultivate yourself, your ship is going to sink either fast or slow, but either way, it's going to sink. So first, work on yourself. So cultivate yourself, and don't focus on IQ, focus on EQ. That's the key, because if you can thrive emotionally, you'll thrive mentally. So your emotional intelligence is very important.
Mm.
And third is get a mentor, somebody that has been where you are and that are far away along, or sometimes they don't have to be so far away along, as long as they can help you get to the next step. And then maybe you want to find another mentor. Um, I, and not just one mentor, you have to surround yourself with community. So people who specialize in finance, specialize in relationships, specialize in your career. So you have to surround yourself with other experts so they can help you. I don't really believe in one person giving you all that advice, and I won't trust them if they just trying to give advice. Like, dude, you
Good
can't
stuff.
possibly give me all that advice. Connect me with somebody else too. So build
That's
community
good. Yeah.
around yourself. That's big.
Build a team, he said. You got to have a team around you. We're not just talking about your homeboys or your homegirls. So you
No.
have 3 girls. Please, what's important for the fathers who are listening who have daughters? What's important to you to get out to them when
Wow.
it comes to what you've learned about being a girl dad?
Oh man, girls love their daddies, man. Uh,
Yes.
Listen, I don't care what like. If your daughters say, um, I'll be transparent. Like one time, my oldest daughter, she said, "We're never gonna have a good relationship." She told me that. But later, I realized that girls love their fathers. They love their dads. Like there's a soft spot there that nobody can feel. And be gentle with your daughters. Be very gentle with them. No matter how aggressive some of them, they have different personalities. So, especially the extroverted ones, and some of the introverted ones, but because the extroverted ones, like I have an extroverted daughter. Her name is Selena. Like she's like, I don't care, bring it on. You want to fight? You want to fight? She's always like, I love her. She's my little firecracker. So, but they are very like gentle and soft. Because what I didn't realize that was that our girls were so loving. So when because I was walking in fear and brain fog, I would always be aggressive at them when I felt like they were attacking me. But girls are really loving, and they need their father. They need their father's love. They need your ear, and they don't need your aggression. Okay, they
Hmm.
have uh, their conscience already whispering in their ears what they're not. So we need to tell them who they are, and that's very
Yes.
important. Mm-hmm.
Yes. To the fathers listening, listen, and this is for the women who didn't have their fathers in their lives, because there's a lot of that going around, and a lot of women are making bad choices Dad, if you are there, be present. Lionel said, be present, be kind, be gentle. So is there a difference in the way that you are raising your son as opposed to your daughters? And what is that difference?
Total difference. Oh my gosh. I said, boy, I'm glad you was born last, boy, because you would have been a jacked up man running around here. Because listen, men, I believe I don't know if we're more sensitive than women, but I think we stay broken longer than women.
Oh.
And so for a man, it's not as simple for him to bounce back emotionally as women can. Because women, y'all have conferences, y'all hang around each other, it's hurrah. Men, our fun, broken men, that is, our fun is things that we really shouldn't be doing because.
Oh, hold up. Somebody need to hear that. I'm sorry, go ahead. Our brokenness, our fun is things that we should not be doing. Ooh.
Yes. So the strip clubs, the bars, and those, and things that break our women's hearts. We do them because we're broken too. And so, you know how they say, hurt people hurt people. I believe broke people break people. So that's where we get a lot of these boys. They come up, they want to be rappers because they have some things to come off their chest. So they are creative, but their creativity is not being cultivated. And so when they grow up as men, they want to shoot up, they want to do drive-bys. They don't even wait till they're men. I live close to Miami, and these 13-year-olds doing drive-bys.
Wow.
And they are expressing their hurt and their pain through trying to express toughness. And so this is what we have going on around here. So our boys that become physically men are still mentally boys because they weren't properly cultivated. And that's why I named my book Cultivate, because cultivate means to dig, to work, to pursue. So you have to work. It's a process. It's an ongoing thing. That's why I chose the word cultivate.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I love this because you are enlightening a lot of people, like especially women right now, because you said it takes men longer to bounce back.
Yeah.
Well, y'all pretend well. Y'all pretend well. So talk a little bit about y'all go through a breakup or the death of a loved one, and y'all look like y'all don't care, and y'all look like you've bounced back, but you're saying on the inside is something else.
Yes. Okay. So can I put it to you like this? Can I read my poem?
Please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'll read the poem, and my poem stemmed from when the news came out about DMX. And when I heard that supposedly he had overdosed, I said, there's only, for a man, the only reason why a man really would overdose or do drugs if he's broken.
Right.
And not because he's trying to have fun. And I've seen DMX's prayers. I've heard his poems. I've heard him himself. And all I heard from DMX more than anything was his heart and his brokenness, and his journey to his desire to heal.
Yes.
And so when I had that flashback, I quickly thought of a poem because I could resonate with DMX. He was 14 when he was tricked into cocaine. And around 12 to 13, I was beat up and bullied and rejected, neglected, all that crazy stuff.
Wow.
And so it really hurt me when I saw that happen to him. So I wrote a poem for the sake of this broadcast, it was called We Hurt Too, but I'm gonna call it tonight, it's called Men Hurt Too. So here it is. Growing up, it was okay for girls to cry, but when it came to boys, we held tears inside. They said, men don't cry to little boys, but deep inside, we're making noise. Many of us are grown men now. Inside, we're still crying. We say, I'm okay, when we're really lying. Women say, open up, here's a safe space. And one disagreement, and it's back in our face. It's common for society to mistreat us, but from our own people, who can we trust? Can't count on the government. That would be crazy. They lock us up and kill off our babies. Brothers, it's like we're on an island, just you and me. It's about time to build community. See, people say they know Black men, but that isn't true because they never believed that men hurt too. It's healing time. Let's tell our stories. Share with the world without any worries. We're taking back our identity. Black men aren't thugs, killers, and crooks. We're kings, husbands, leaders, and authors of books. So when you see me coming, don't clutch your purses or duck and hide. I'm here to help you. I'm on your side. Men hurt too.
Wow. That was powerful. Listen, we got to get that somewhere. That needs to be in Times Square on a billboard. I'm so serious. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm so passionate about this. Like,
yeah,
I'm so passionate about this because I'm a boy mom. I have 3 sons. I have a 26-year-old, a 21-year-old, and an 11-year-old who's on the spectrum. And I worry about them. And I said this the other day. I don't worry about them only because of police brutality. I worry about them because of all of society.
Yes.
Everybody treats y'all bad. That was amazing. So I just want you to give a final word to everybody listening, because that was so powerful. I'm gonna play that over and over again. I'm gonna snip that up and play that over and over again because it needs to be shared and shared and shared and shared. I'm gonna share it with my boys, but I want you to give the world a final thought on Men Hurt Too right now, on what the world really needs to resonate on about Black men.
Okay. Well, first to the ladies, you all have been awesome as far as building communities for yourselves, and you've done a great job. And no one had to tell you to work. No one had to tell you to do it. You took that initiative and you built community around yourself. Right now, Black men are in a crisis. And to be honest, ever since we landed here, we've been in a crisis, but this is, we're in a strategic crisis, I would say, in these days and time. And we need your support because a lot of us, we feel lonely. We feel unsupported, even by other Black men. So we tend to not assemble ourselves with other Black men because we don't know who to trust. So if you help us build community and you help open platforms for us, maybe by starting by acknowledging some of our men who try hard. Maybe he's not making 6 figures or he's not a millionaire, but he's trying his best to protect his family and provide, but he doesn't understand present. And so we need to teach men, Black men, how to be present. We know how to do the other 2 things, but we need to be present. If you can help us be present for ourselves, you'll have extraordinary, fantastic Black men, because a lot of things that we're doing is out of just normal routine, repetition. A lot of things that we're doing is because we are afraid to learn something new so we don't make mistakes and put our family in another level of crisis. So we do want to do better. We're afraid to make mistakes. We're afraid to fall because we don't know who will catch us. And we don't know if anybody will catch us. And if we do fall, we don't want anybody to walk over us and step on us. So we need people to say, it's okay to make mistakes. I got you. And it needs to be proven over and over again, because when we hurt deep, and it's a challenge to be healed, because for us, we have been taught to suppress our emotions, and on the inside we're really imploding. So there's a lot of internal chaos that's going on, and sometimes for us it takes a while to heal. And for the men, I just want to tell you, like, you have my support, and I've been through some stuff I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, because even some days now I still have to, catch myself from, from doubting that people out here really care, and that there's community. There's, a lack of community, but we have community. And even for me, like, this is a movement right here. This is a movement. I want to get this book in the hands of every hurting man and every person who knows a hurting Black man in our communities, because what I share in here is really, really touching. And there's another poem in here. There's a different poem in here. It's called New Man. And that was another one that is dedicated kind of like to men like DMX. So that's what I have to say. And just surround us with community. Help us be present for ourselves, not just for what we can do, but help us for us too.
Man, Lionel, listen here. You got me so emotional right now, because you just said a whole lot in this short time, and you just taught us a lot about men. And I just really just want to thank you for your vulnerability, because I know that is not an easy thing for Black men to even share these little things, because of the way they may be, a Black man love his wife, he's a simp. You know what I'm saying? We have all this craziness going on in the world right now, because you're not supposed to love your wife like out loud in public because you a simp, or you know what I'm saying? So The reason, like you said, I'm afraid to make a mistake. That hurt me to hear you say you're afraid to make a mistake. Like, we all gonna make mistakes, but to be able to just stay complacent because you don't want to make a mistake, to say like a man wanting to start a business, but he know he got this 9 to 5.
Yes.
I know I could provide for my family, but if I go and tell my wife I'm gonna start this business, or I'm gonna write this book, and I'm thinking about leaving my job, and I leave the job and it just don't go smooth for that 1 year, I can't. Let me just stay here forever. Let me just be, and there's nothing wrong with being a janitor, but let me just be the janitor forever with this book inside of me, because I know if it don't go the right way. You just opened up our eyes to a lot of stuff. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Men Hurt Too, and we are talking about Cultivate Your Call, and written by Lionel, and how he wrote this book because he just wants men to heal and to be free and to understand that they're human beings first. So please tell everybody where they can find you and where they can get this book from.
They can find me on social media, well, Instagram and Facebook under Lionel Hilaire, but you can get the book at lionelhilaire.com. I will be shipping out books. See, I have some here. I will be shipping them out. I will be signing them. And for everyone that purchased, I write a note for them. And, I have the ebook coming out next, and then the audio book. And the Audible is going to be, I got something planned for that. So, but for now, you can visit lionelhilaire.com, and you can get a copy of the book. I'll ship it out to you ASAP. Matter of fact, I'm starting shipping out tomorrow. So I got a lot of work to do, a lot of signing. My left hand. I'm left-handed, by the way. So yeah, get a copy of the book. Listen, and I want feedback. Like, tag me. I want to share what what you have to say about the book. Let me know about what you think about the poem. I wrote 3 poems this year, and this one came from last year. So I've just been getting those downloads to write poems, and they're on my social media as well, some of them.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You have been like a wealth of knowledge. I love you, my brother from another
I love
mother.
you
We are
too.
now
Thank you.
forever connected. I will be promoting this book for you. I will be ordering mine as soon as I get off here because I need to get one for my 26-year-old son. You know, let's encourage our boys to read. Let's encourage
Yes.
our young men to read because they're not reading because we're not encouraging them to read. Instead of buying your son a video game or instead of, you know, giving your son money, purchase the book for them and encourage them to read, even if it's for 5 minutes a day. Maybe they don't want to sit down and read for, you know, an hour or read the whole book, right? Encourage them to read the poem, and a poem might lead them to read the whole book. So thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Men Heard Too. I'm your girl, Trey. You can find me on all social media at Trey Kearney. Remember what I tell you at the end of all my broadcasts. You deserve the best. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve the best. Now go get it. Peace and blessings. And remember Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Peace and blessings. And I will see you guys next time.